This is your weekend market review for Saturday, December 14th, 2024. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka The Trading Agent, your weekend market review for Saturday, December 14th, 2024. As we wrap up the year, got options expiration next week, you got the FOMC meeting, and you got a ton of actual data. So what are you going to do? Well, you're going to watch this recap. You're going to get comfortable with the levels. You're going to get comfortable with what to expect, and we're going to absolutely crush it next week. I have complete faith in such. Again, if you're new to the channel, check out the Discord room, link in the description below. As Jay Solstice was dropping, again, we knew that the Nasdaq was going to be updating their holdings. It looks like MSTR and Palantir both added. Makes sense why they've been holding up pretty well. Either way, keep an eye on it. Again, it's all about, in my opinion, near-term levels, because the way that market is acting, you have divergence in leaders, laggards lagging harder, financials lagging, IWM, certain tech holding up. Overall, again, I think it's a trader's market until the end of the year. Just be careful out there. Again, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out. That's why we're here to help. And Discord room is a great place to hang out. Also, follow on Twitter, drop in tons of trades, ideas, thoughts. If you have questions, you can hit me up here. You can hit me up on Calendly. Like, there's a link in the description below. Feel free to zing. Take 30 minutes. Let's chat, see how I can help. Again, if you're new, channel, also check out the YouTube. I don't know why this is all slowly refreshing. Barf. Yeah, plenty of education videos. We talk about options expiration, how to trade it. Typically, you have up part of the week, down part of the week, can be pretty choppy and sloppy as they try to crush options premium and pin prices to certain areas. Also, check out the website, tradingagent.com. Turn profits into passive incomes and properties and passive income. Again, always here to help. If you're looking to buy, sell, invest in real estate anywhere in the country, let me reiterate, anywhere in the country, I'd love to help you out. Just like if you go click on Zillow, Redfin, any of these websites, they'll put you in touch with an agent. I can do that as well. I can find you some of the best agents in the country. I'm part of the best agent referral group in the country. I can put you in touch with the top person. Again, this is your largest asset. Do me a favor. Don't hand it off to someone who hasn't done tons of transactions, how to market your property if you're looking to sell, or if you're looking to buy, get you some freaking deals. Let me know I can help. Always here. Love you guys. All right. Next week, we know that's pretty much a lock that they're going to cut. And I'm going to click these real quick just so they refresh. It's a lock. Going to cut. And here's what's crazy. The CPI and PPI data last week, not good. Inflation is sticky above the 2% threshold for the Fed success. We're in 3 and change, but why are they still cutting? Something doesn't make sense. Why do you always do this to me? Bitcoin, we know has been holding up near the 2 times range pretty well. And I mean, again, I'm on record. This candle from the 5th. You got to get over it, or you've got to hold it. If not, we could go into the chop zone. That's not what Bitcoin holders want to hear. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but after big up moves, it's pretty typical for consolidation. How long? You don't know. Right? But maybe this is a pattern that we see, like where you get a December high, you get another little pop in January, and then it pulls back. Maybe. And then you got a nice run in March. We'll see. Again, and long term, I don't really have a magic crystal ball. I think a lot of the people who anticipated to go to 1 million, the 100 think 100,000 is cheap then. I get it. But again, the law of large numbers makes you're not getting the 100x or the 1000x moves that you got. So just be careful out there. Manage your positions. Do the best you dang can. Oil, as we talked about, seems to be holding the mid-60s. Natural gas, I like it long term. I'd like to see it in the upper 1s, mid-2s at worst. So again, I like commodities long term. I do not like the idea of holding on to tech for the long term from here, because again, if you look at the relative value of tech to the market, it's more expensive than the dot-com bubble. That is dangerous. Apple trading at these stocks are not cheap. And again, it doesn't mean they can't go higher, but the probabilities and likelihood of higher prices means the risk reward might not be in your favor. Dollars we talked about looked like a head and shoulders top, but was holding the 20-day tight. Now we're making new highs off the lows. I don't know. Maybe we go back after the highs. Don't know. But my point is, again, I'm watching dollar for volatility. It seems to be holding up. Again, if the dollar's holding up, why are other currencies, again, I mean, there's still a lot of global currencies not doing well. More pain to come. TLT, as we've talked about, we needed to get over that 93 to 95 area. Couldn't. Kapow. TLT got crushed with the inflation data. Said this gap was going to fill at worst. Now we're getting a little oversold quickly. I would not be surprised if we hit the 88, 89 level, and we definitely get some sort of bounce. But if we don't, again, probability based, right? When you drop pretty quickly, You should bounce. If we don't, that means, oh, shiznit, right? Like, oh, crap. Like, that would be like a moment right here where you came back down to the range lows and you just went, dangerous. We'll see what happens. VIX talked about this starting to bottom. Bottoming it is. But we'll see what happens. Again, going into FOMC meeting. Again, put on some shorts. I mean, again, I think volatility is about to pick up. The VIX always bottoms first. It looks like it's bottom. Keep it simple, stupid. SPY, SPY. This is where it gets a little funky. It looks like a chopped top. I mean, if you do rubber band man theory, you're getting a little more tired. Each move is amplitude is getting smaller. Again, probability based. My mind says this should be a pullback. How deep, how far, that's the question. We don't know. But if you're anticipating it and you're managing your positions, trade around it. That's all you got to do. QQQ put on some shorts this afternoon. Not yesterday, this afternoon. Yesterday morning. Said watching the channel high. Basically about flat on the shorts. Has got in up here. Again, added a little on Friday AM. Doji. Again, worth watching. IWM. This is where, again, you see the differing. Like the SPY not really acting much. The KRE, IWM, all these like junior stuff, not looking good. You want to see junior ETFs, not junior companies, mid caps, small caps leading. They're not. They look like they're leading down. DIA, this has been hot straight down. Red rum under the 20-day. Keep an eye on it. Again, gold. I like gold, but I don't think it's going to go anywhere until the FOMC meeting. We talked about not trusting it, and I've been trading gold for a long freaking time, and I'm telling you right now, I don't trust it until you get past the FOMC. Here's the thing, right? We've had an absolutely monster move. At worst, you get a consolidation period for a little bit of time. If not, again, you need a hold above the trend line, which we're right back to, which makes it super freaking sneaky. But could we fill the gap? Could we get to the 100-day? Could we trap down? Again, I think long-term, you're going to be fine. It's just near-term. You're going to be caught, in a chop cycle because you're not seeing silver confirm, like silver right back at the lows. Yikes. Not so hot, right? Talked about miners. Like, you want to see them strong. If gold's going to be going nuts, giving it right back up. GDXJ, same kind of thing. Giving it right back up. It shouldn't have been that aggressive as sold. Again, think about like big boys. Again, they're the ones controlling these stocks. AEM hits the 87, 88 area, rejection. AG, you think it's breaking out, think it's breaking the downtrend, comes right back, right? Newmont should hold the 40 area. Uh-oh. I don't like this gap at the low. Unless, again, it's a novice gap. And you should see soon. But if this is a gap to start the next move down, because what could be here is this where it gets tricky. The gaps at certain extremes. We've been chopping. I don't like to see the gap down unless it's about to start. And again, the gap down meaning like could be the start of the waterfall. You've got to hold here. If not, it could get really ugly fast. Pass seems to be chopping around at the highs. All right, let's get into techs. I think tech's the best short. Taiwan Semi, we talked about this, holding the 50, 20-day area, watching it. Didn't really expect the bounce, but again, trade around it. I mean, it looked like Avago's numbers were pretty solid. Again, we know tech companies' numbers are going to be solid. It's just how is the market going to price in their future earnings, considering you have to think about they've already priced in amazing future earnings. They have to earn it now. It's kind of like when Tesla went up to 400s a couple in 2021. Yeah, everyone knew they were going to do well in electric cars. Now they had to earn it. Again, you can get consolidation and big pullbacks like you're getting in Micron, AMD. They look like crap. Sorry, bulls. Again, I've seen these cycles. It's like, oh, but their earnings are going to be great. Well, why is the stock acting like shiznit? It's because, again, that's what happens. You blow off top, then you go into these consolidation patterns. And if you take out the lows, you got lower lows. I mean, again, that's why I think NVIDIA to me is the obvious easy short. I mean, the valuation, the expensiveness of the company. Yikes. But we talked about this, shorting up here. We talked about watching for shorts near the 20-day. Now we're back at the range lows. If we break it, I don't know why you wouldn't go to the 100-day really dang quickly. There's some gaps here to fill. Good luck. I mean, that's to me an easy short. Adobe, this is why we don't trust the market, right? It looks good. Oh, hey, boom! Earnings. Kapow. Kelly Kapowski smash. When you zoom out, it looks like just a what? A big chop zone. I know. Watch for the 440 area to hold if you're going to go long as a speculative trade. If not, it could get wiped out. Remember, tech is not cheap, y'all. Apple trading at the most expensive earnings multiples it's seen in a while. I don't think it's like price to earnings. I can't, not PE, but I can't remember what indicator it was, but talking about like some sort of book value stuff. I'm like, wow, that's pretty crazy considering, sales are going to probably not be that great. And when I say not be that great, like, yeah, we know they're not selling. Everyone's waiting for the next phone. So watch this chop top. To me, it makes sense. I know people are starting to layer in shorts. It's really easy trade. Keep an eye on. Again, define your risk. It doesn't have to be rocket science. Amazon chopping at the highs, 1.618. I'd be keeping on ready to alert. Meta looks like we talked about Zuckerberg kissing the ring, channeling. We talked about the trade up, nice trade. Near term, I don't know, that's a tough one. In an OPEX, I'd be keeping an eye on it. CRM, we talked about this one blowing off the top after it blew off the bottom. Interesting action, opens high, closes low, chop top, I don't know. I mean, either way, the reference, if you're looking to short, get as close to the highs. If you're confirming it needs to break below 345. And if you're bullish long-term, define your risk, roll up your stops. Guggenheim coming out with chips that are going to take lunch from everybody. Keep an eye on it. It's an interesting breakout, right? Like, and again, now I wouldn't say like, oh God, it's the end of the world. But you see big green and big red candles at highs. It's how you follow through on them, right? Because could it be this, like a pullback and then a retest? Or is it like a blow off? Just, again, it's worth noting. Again, extremes at extremes, right? Microsoft, speaking of extremes, right? Like there's your candle, your long wick, fills the gaps. Keep an eye on it. NDAQ, again, congrats to the folks who short up in the 84 area. Hot diggity dog, or 83. You guys kick ass. Again, I think this exchange will not have the volume in time because people are going to be dumping these stocks to buy other ones in time. MicroStrategy getting added to the Nasdaq 100. Not surprised. We said the 20-day. I personally think the best opportunity would be down in the 330s. Will you get that? There's no guarantee, right? There's no guarantee. It's one of those things where, like, keep an eye on it. Just absolutely keep an eye on it because I don't think, again, I don't know what kind of pop it'll get getting added to the S&P 500, but it's lagging Bitcoin a ton. That's kind of weird, right? If, again, this is like, again, as Michael Saylor said, it's the 2 times Bitcoin leverage ETF. Well, it needs to be getting back into the 500s because Bitcoin is at the 100,000 range. Netflix, this one's been on fire. Talk about this little baby gap. See what happens here. If you're shopping at the baby gap for shorts, it makes sense. Chop top, watch the ranges, watch the 930s. Keep an eye on it. Roblox, again, I think this gets bought out in time. Talked about it backing up. This one's, it seems to be channeling up. I don't think I'd be stepping in front of the short or that one. Pan W, we talked about this one breaking out over the 380, 70 area. Seems to be holding up, back testing trend lines. Again, a lot of these names look like they're consolidating. Tesla, I think this broke out to new all-time highs, if I'm correct. Yeah, it did. Congrats if you've been bullish. We've talked about trying not to step in front of this. We said once we got over this range, it could go back to the highs. Now, near term, this is where you have to be very careful of straight line moves. I'm not saying to go, again, I don't think you want to short by any means because you don't want to get run over. But if you're looking to take profits, it makes sense. Oh, I forgot some of the other, hold on. SMCI, I don't know why I just jumped around. Yeah, they cleared their books. 100-day, let's see what happens here. Intellectual property. Yeah, I think this is a dog. It just, keep an eye on it. I mean, I don't know why anyone would want to own it. There's no momentum. SMH, again, we like the stocks that's down here. Seems to be bouncing and chopping around. I mean, your guess is as good as mine near term, but I anticipate lower prices. Sorry, bulls. Insight, yes, back under 70. I think this is a buyout target at some point. I'd love to see it get back down into these ranges in the 50s. Keep an eye on it. Palantir, again, someone obviously knew it was getting added to the S&P 500. But however, this candle up here is, it's like MicroStrategy. Is like, is that the death candle that starts either the chop zone or the top for the long term? Hey. McDonald's seems to be stuck here in like the 300 plus and it just chopping around. Not much to say. DKNG, again, high five to my friends who shorted the stock. I got a lot of flack. A lot of people, I feel like everyone hates shorting. And again, it's like turn this charts upside down and pretend it's a long. It doesn't matter. Here we go, back at support. We talked about it should bounce here. Look at it, open and pow. I personally don't think there's much upside in the stock long term. And then now near term, at worst, you're coming back down to some, either fill the gap at 36 or you could come back down to the 29s. And again, maybe it's a long-term chop zone consolidation before what? Who knows? Airbnb, things that don't look bullish. So, pow. Again, you take out this 130 area. I don't know why you wouldn't come back into the 110s. Costco, been a beast, but look at the 1,000 candle. Everyone gets excited. Oh, boy. Look at this. Earnings, up, down, left, right. Whoa, 20-day. I'm actually going to move this here because this candle means way more to me. This is a big outside wide candle. We got to get over it to be bullish, under it to be bearish. Starbucks, we talked about the fake breakout. Potential comes right back into the range. Just kind of let it play out. FedEx earnings on Thursday afternoon. Be careful. We talked about the short here. Not surprised it's bouncing. Near term, I don't know. Last earnings did not go so hot. So if you're bullish, be careful. If you're bearish, manage your positions. Again, if you have shorts, it makes sense. Caterpillar, we talked about this one up here, right up back at the high. Nope. DE, right? Shopping around. 20-day. Again, but these are all been nice trades. Look at Nucor. Look at some of these material names. They just don't make sense. Like, right? That doesn't look good. And I'm like, that's the real just going things that you like at lower prices. Yes. Like, yes, sir. The dark side. I want to see these stocks get crushed and we buy them at cheap multiples 1 times book or 3 times earnings. Yes. VALE, global growth name. Let them come down. Don't know where the bottoms are. I'm just going to let them play. Arrow, again, here we go. Again, junior copper, we like long term, but is there a recession coming? Because some of these material names look like it. CCJ, I think uranium prices are at 13-month lows. Yikes, be careful. We talked about the channel failing. Again, I like these stocks, but let them come in. Like, just don't, you can't assume one direction all the time. CF, again, we like ag names. Let them get burned. Burn, burn, burn. NTR, same thing. Ring of fire. No, no, no. AA, again, we like aluminum. Let it get burned, burn, burn. Again, you gotta love material names. XLF, we talked about this one. Looks like it's peaked. It seems to be holding up decently, but again, 20 days now resistance, old trend line, chopping, watching. JP Morgan has some folks who shorted this. Looking solid. Break under, was it 235? Fills the gap? Question mark. Mark. Morgan Stanley, chopping around at the gap. Looks like it's about to snap. Bank of America, right? What's it doing? Seems to be making lower lows off the highs. But again, these could all be just backfilling consolidation. Again, you need confirmation ultimately. But it's interesting because the market is making new highs. And guess who ain't, right? Be careful. Goldman Sachs under 20-day. KRE, again, look at this since it like popped. Like it looked the same thing, IWM, just red. Now, again, you could say it's just a backfilling, so watch the 63 area, but if it breaks below it, ay caramba. XBI, here you go. Here's a name that should be like junior bios, should be on fire. Seems to hits the top, fail. Jets, makes sense to me why the Jets suck. This thing has been on a huge tear. We talked about it, watching a chop top. Keep an eye on it. 8, 10-day breaks, then the 20, then you got the 50. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. XHB, we talked about housing. Again, housing is not an easy sector to play in right now. Again, most agents struggle with housing in general when the markets are soft. But again, look at the chop top. Got it. Now you're under the channel, under the 100-day. Uh-oh. Solar. Again, this is just all over the place. I don't really have any ideas on this other than short big pops. Unless oil just starts ripping. But we're not there yet. I mean, Sedge at... I guess ENPH in the 70s. First Solar, we talked about this one dropping, popping, chopping. Hit that 200-day. It just, man, there's just easier trades. HYG, again, I've said this and I'm on record. You've got to be out of your mind to buy corporate debt. That's all I can say. Oil, we talked about it having a nice oversold bounce. Keep an eye on it. UNG, I hate this product. Look at this thing. I mean, it was down freaking 6% today. Hits the 200-day again. We talked about taking profits on the KOLD. If you shorted up at the highs, right? Took some profits. Now you're back down here. Keep an eye on it. I mean, again, I think long-term you're going to be great shorting it, but I think you can trade around it. XOP, things that you don't expect. Like if oil and gas and the economy are going to be strong, like what is going on here? It feels like the gap is going to fill in the backside of the trend line come into play. We talked about the gasoline names not really acting so hot. Back at the range lows, right? MPC starting to melt a little bit. Again, you take out the lows, doesn't look good. ExxonMobil. Speaking of just watching, like, old trend line here. I mean, you got to hold this 107 area, but these are things that you would think they'd be going nuts ultimately in time. If you think the economy is going to be flying next year. Occidental, again, back at the range lows. Something's not right here. EQT, right? This thing got, a nice pop, but it's just a big chop zone, right? I said it can't really get anywhere. Watch what happens if it pulls back. And last but not least, your Flex LNG. Again, I think we'll be natural gas exporters. Oh, I clicked on the wrong one. Flex LNG. I think we'll be natural gas exporters for the long term. So again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Always here to help. Do yourself a favor. Put yourself in a position to win by doing what? Managing your positions, setting your stops, defining your risk, and being open-minded to the idea that your stock does not always have to go up or down. All right. I love you guys. Have a wonderful weekend. Hit me up if you have any questions. I will see you soon. Again, take care. Peace. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.